Hello and welcome to Camtectv. My name is John, your host for the channel, and today's episode is going to be about what's in my camera bag, so stick around. Alright, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today, like I said, it's going to be a what's in my camera bag video to give you guys an inside view of the equipment that we use to get our job done. Now, if there's anything in the video that you guys liked and you would like to see a review on, make sure that you leave it down in the comments section so we're informed and we can get a video review of the products that we have for you. Now, so let's get started. Now, let's start off with the Pelican case that we own. It is the 1560 version. This is the one with the padded dividers. Now, the padded dividers allows us to organize all of our photography and filmmaking equipment inside of this case. I also own the accessory that you can purchase separately, which is the lid organizer. Now, from there, let's get started into the equipment. I own 3 cameras. One of them is which I'm using right now to record this video. I'm using the Nikon D750. This is a full frame camera. I have it with the battery grip, the vertical grip, however you want to call it, attached with the 15mm 1.8 lens and a Rode Video microphone, which is using to get the reference audio, the scratch audio, to record this video. Now, what I am using to get it out the way quickly, it is a Zoom H5, which is right here. The Zoom H5 is recording wireless audio or audio from the lavalier microphone, which is not attached to the camera, which we'll get into that later on. But basically, I'm using the Zoom H5 to record the audio that I'm using on this. This is a Sennheiser replica model. It's called the Mic MJ045. Or I'll put it down in the description so you guys can have a link to that as well of what microphone this is, what you're listening to now. If you're interested in audio equipment, guys, I have several microphones, or so you guys can have an understanding. If you want to see a video on that, let me know. All right, so moving on over, let's start off with the camera bodies. We have here the Nikon D7000, which is a great camera all around if you're using it for your primary, or also if you're using it for your backup camera. This is a great camera. Is it a crop sensor, which has 16 megapixels. It has video features. The only thing that it doesn't have is a headphone jack, but the newer 7100 and up, they all have better features than their 24 megapixels. But you can pick these up for like $350. So that's that. Moving on over to the next camera, which is the Nikon D3100. I use this camera solely for video work because of the Nikon hack that I did, the firmware update, which allows us to get about, if I'm not mistaken, 60 to 80 megabits per second, and which is a better file format with more information in our video. Okay. Now let's move over to the first lens that I have here is the Nikon 105 macro lens, which is a great lens because it's image stabilized, has vibration reduction, it has a 1:1 magnification. It is extremely sharp. This lens is phenomenal. I use this even for portraiture, and it's great all around. The coating on the lens is great. It's the EDVR nano crystal coating version. So moving on over to the next lens, let me organize this a bit here. Like I said, I'm using the Nikon 50mm 1.8 over there. Then I have a 35mm. This is the DX version, not the what is it, the ED version, which is for full frames. This is the DX version. You can use this on your Nikon full frame bodies. It is going to vignette after f5.6. So if you're going to use this lens, I recommend to use it either wide open up to like f4, and you're not going to have any problems. You get a slight vignetting, but you can correct that in post-production. But all in all, this is a great, phenomenal lens. I've used this on my full frame camera for a very long time. Never had any problems. But I am a person that I'm very typically to shoot wide open. So if you're not a person that shoots wide open, then get the full frame version and you won't have a problem with that. Okay. Now moving on over is to the 70-200 VR2 version. This is a phenomenal lens if you're a portrait photographer, event photographer, or anything that you need to have a little bit of distance. This is the lens to have. Even the Tamron new versions, which they're killing it right now with their Tamron 24-70 and their 70-200, they're coating and they're AF, and they also image stabilize. So those are more, or they're inexpensive lenses that you can pick up for a very good price. Have the 70-200, the 105 macro, the 35mm DX 1.8, and the 50mm that's on the camera recording as we speak. And also to the last lens is the Tokina 16-28, which I think is a great lens if you're starting out into wide angle photography, or you need a wide angle lens. This is a great, you know, starting out lens for the wide angle, because wide angles can get very expensive in the 800s up to 1600, 1700 with the Nikon 14-24. But all in all, this is a great lens. It has slight barrel distortion, but it's not like a fisheye. So it keeps everything, you know, rectilinear. You just get a little bit of barrel distortion towards the ends, but that's something that you can easily correct in Lightroom with their perspective tool. The focal range is not so great from 16-28. It's really not that much. It's only 12mm of distance that you're really getting into, but again, the less millimeter distance that it is, the sharper the lens should be. This one is manual and autofocus. The autofocus, I give it a 7 out of 10. It's not the best, but it does get the job done. Like I said, if you want a review on any of the equipments, let me know in the comments down below, guys. So let's go ahead, and I have totals of 6 flashes. I have 2 Yongnuo 560s, YN 560s Mark II. These are great manual flashes, which I'm going to also let you guys know a little tip that you can use this as hypersync. If you guys are interested in knowing what hypersync is, let me know so I can go ahead and do a video on that. Then I have these are the Godox TT600 versions, which they're great. They have high-speed sync. They synchronize all the way up to 1/8000, and they're manual. They're not TTLs, but they allow you to use TTL, or not TTL, to use hypersync, or what is it, the term? I'm sorry for that, guys. High-speed sync. Basically, it allows you to synchronize your flash and your camera above 1/250th of a second or 1/200th of a second. You can shoot all the way up to 1/8000 of a second, which they're great for that. The other 2 flashes that we own are the Nikon SB900. These are phenomenal flashes that I've had these for like 7 years now, and they're still rocking it out. So I recommend, before you guys go into buying third-party flashes, pick yourself up some of your camera brand. If you're a Canon shooter, get some Canon flashes. If you're a Nikon shooter, get some Nikon flashes, because for these flashes, they will last you a heck of a long time. And also, the battery life on these are much better than third-party flashes. For some reason, the batteries on here last a lot longer than they do on my third-party flashes. Okay, so moving on over, we have the Godox triggers to be able to control them manually from our camera. These are the X1T N version for the Nikon. You can pick up the S version for Sony and the C and for Canon. Okay, then we have ND filters. This one is a variable fader. This is a fader ND. Basically, it allows you to control your exposure if you're shooting video, and you want to darken your scene without changing your aperture or your shutter speed, you can control these with these variable ND filters. This one has a step down from a 67mm down to 52mm, and they're great. The sharpness is very good for what I've used, and I haven't had any problems, and they're like half the price of what the Tiffins are. Okay, so then I have just regular ND filters and polarizers for the lenses. Another set of triggers that I do own is the YN622N. These are transceivers. You can use them as triggers and also receivers to control and receive the powers from your flash. Okay, then we have for audio the micro, the Rode Video Micro on the Nikon D750. Have the Rode Video Mic Pro R. This is the one with the right coat lyre suspension with the upgraded capsule and the suspension system that it has here, and the furry dead cat windscreen for this Rode Video Mic Pro microphone, which is a great phenomenal microphone for booming, for on-camera audio. It's a great microphone all the way around. All right, so then I have also this the Think Tank Pixel Pocket wallet. This is the Peewee version, I'm sorry. It has 3 slots for SD and then the rest 4 slots for CF cards. Had purchased this when I had my Nikon D300, which had CF cards, so that's why I still have this one. But I use the slots from the CF for SDs now, so it works very well for that. Then I also, moving on over, I have a set of gels. These are from Roscoe. They have the color swatch it that you guys should pick up if you're into flash photography, because of it gives you a numerous amount of gels for like $5, guys. You can put these onto your flashes with a little bit of tape and you're good to go, and you got hundreds of colors to lighting your coloring your lighting in a good way, for an inexpensive way. Then I have my tripod plates all the way through here with this clear little clear pouch from Amazon that I purchased. And then I have another one for my audio equipment. They have the lavaliers, cables for connecting to mixer boards. And one thing that I've used for many years is this Westcott triple thread that allows me to have 3 flashes onto one light stand to maximize the output of our flashes when we're outside shooting in high-speed sync. You're gonna need a little bit more flashes if you're gonna be using the high-speed sync, but this for like $29, $30, you can put 3 flashes onto your light stand and you have more power. From here, then we have what is this? The Gary Fong light dome, which I've used this in the beginning of our flash photography career. You put this on over to your flash and then you spread the light a lot more. I'll do a review about this for you guys can see the difference of shooting, direct flashing and diffusing it with this a little bit. Okay, so besides that, just little knickknacks, little what I have here to cover us if it rains, little ponchos, flashlights. We have here the lens pen, have a pen, a notebook, little knickknacks here and there, but all in all, this is what gets the job done. We have the Young Newell lighting, which is lighting this scene right now. I have other equipment, but basically this is the core of our equipment to getting the job done. Now, like I said, guys, if you're interested in any of the products that we've named today, if you want to see a review on that, leave them down in the comment section so I can go ahead and do a review of that. And that's pretty much it for today. What's in my camera bag. I hope you enjoy the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.